SP Convo, SP Convo, let's do it. That's how it is, man. Is America out of control? Is this what America is? Is this what the USA is? All about tension, to and from. Look at this right here, man. This is the result of a 1-year-old child being killed at the hands of the police. This is the result of a 1-year-old child being killed at the hands of the police. Police sworn in to protect and serve. Well, in this situation, it wasn't like that. So, there was a call that somebody was shoplifting out of a Walmart. 2 people ran out the store with a baby. They hopped inside the car and drove away. The cops said they would try to run them over, so they opened fire inside the car with a 1-year-old, a defenseless child, in the vehicle. But hey, they're saying Carmelo Anthony got to win, so why they can't get theirs? You could imagine if people really thought that way, then we had some serious ending of the times. Humanity have went down. Well, the law says shoplifting caused the right.
Everybody that was involved need to be.
Here we go. Got technical difficulties. Apologize for that. Here we go. Get it back on. Get it back on.
Held accountable. I'm not giving up until I get justice.
Sunday afternoon, a 1-year-old boy killed after a shooting outside Walmart in Senatobia, where a law enforcement officer fired shots at the vehicle with the child inside. Family waited outside the hospital, anxious for information about another family member who was critically injured.
I don't know anything right now. My grandson gone. I just want justice.
The police department not telling us anything. They removed the baby's body without anybody seeing it.
The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says officers responded to a shoplifting call at the Walmart where they saw 2 adults and the child fleeing from the store into this vehicle. The driver then drove in the direction of the officers, nearly hitting one of them. That's when one officer fired shots at the car.
Policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
I'm more angry because the situation that took place really was unnecessary. What I'm hearing from what happened, it was unnecessary.
Now the victim's family is demanding answers from law enforcement as to how this happened.
All we know is that a car was shot up and a 1-year-old baby was killed. And then nobody tells us anything, like we not anybody.
Someone need to be held accountable for it. It's just not right.
NBI says they are assessing and gathering evidence on this incident and will share their findings once the investigation is complete.
Whatever the incident may have come to, it still didn't need for you to shoot 2 adults and a baby that was not even a threat to you.
Justice will be served. If it has anything to do with me, it will be served.
Right there. Is this the future of America? Is this what America's about? Tension. Citizens versus police. Societies. Neighborhoods uproar. Clashing. Is America out of control? Is America out of control? This gonna go on for more time now. I'm trying to put on my southern drawl. I suck at it. I ain't southern. This gonna go on for a long time though. I suck at it. Give it up. At the end of the day, I don't think the cops had the right to shoot into the car. But if they felt their life was in danger, I'm not a police officer. I don't know the protocols, but from a human point, I'm going to be afraid for my life. I'm going to try to stop that threat too. So, I don't know. But the good thing is cameras is there, and cameras don't lie. So, the officers have body cameras, and Walmart got a whole lot of cameras. So, let's see. Let's see how this turns out. Sad, man. Sad. But, I think America is highly overpopulated. Since the new migrants came in, 20, 30, 40 so million migrants, America's about to break, man. All these different people here, tensions flared up. Black and whites do have tension. Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf, that's still going around the country. You know, you got the World Cup in America. Man, it's all over the place, man. This country is full to its top maxity. It's full to its capacity. I try to put my own little thing in it. It's top maxity. Let's jump into this is a update. Oh no, it's still the same thing. We're gonna throw it in there anyway. Let's get in it.
A 3-year-old is recovering after an attempted...
Oh no, that's not it. It's not for me. No. It's the wrong one. No. It's the wrong one. You're not gonna take that, baby shine. Not gonna take that, baby shine. There we go.
Tonight there are growing protests.
This is it.
Outside Memphis after a 1-year-old was killed in a Walmart parking lot when police opened fire on a car. Officers had been responding to a shoplifting call
ABC's Morgan Norwood reports.
Wow, look at that beautiful baby. Look at him. Beautiful baby. Wow. Come on, man. The police shot him? They knew that beautiful baby was in the car and they shot that baby down like that?
Tonight, growing outrage in Mississippi. Police clashing with protesters and deploying tear gas after a 1-year-old boy was shot and killed by police outside a Walmart just south of Memphis. The fatal shooting unfolding Sunday after officers responded to a report of shoplifting. Police say they saw 2 people fleeing a Walmart with a child. When they tried stopping their car, police say the driver almost hit an officer, and police opened fire.
Tonight, there are growing protests outside Memphis after a 1-year-old was killed in a Walmart park.
You understand? You understand that? It's that tension, man. Now, we'll speak on some things. Black people in the past have been known to do a lot of petty things. And there's some people out there, police, white people, bougie black people, good doers. Those are the individuals that want to have a society where everything is perfect. Some of those people you'll find in government. Some of them people you'll find working with you at your job. So when they hear somebody run out the store, taking Pampers, a pencil, a pack of Kool-Aid, whatever it is, they feel like that person deserves the ultimate consequence because they see no wrong. They see no survival. They see no justification, no solid reason of why a person should be doing anything. Because in their world, they got everything good going for them. So they believe the whole world is the same way. Because they're a human being just like the next. So if I'm living good, automatically everybody else should be living good. But that's not a reality. We don't know whose circumstances is what. Nobody know whose situation is dire from great. I'm lying? If I'm lying, prove it to me. I'll wait. So, maybe those individuals was on their last straw. I'm not making no justifications for if that was the case for them taking diapers out of a Walmart, but evidently they needed it. Some people need things and they don't have the cash. Because everything in the United States of America revolves around $1. Everything. There's nothing free in America. It's not like they live in other countries where you could go snatch fruit off the tree because it's in your yard and you good. Nah, it don't work like that. Or if it did work like that back in the days in the United States of America in the South, the city cut the trees down. Now the city owns the land. So there's no fruits, nuts, chickens, duck. There's nothing you can eat without the government having it first and taxing you at a supermarket later. So everything is money. And when you don't have money, some people say it's time for me to take. And I risk the consequence of my actions. But I don't think those individuals thought the consequences was going to be the removal of their child. their 1-year-old child. The cops got issues. The cops got problems. The cops got to abide by law. The cops don't have no time to be emotional, to have an understanding, concern, sympathetic, empathetic mindset. Let alone you're a black person. And if that cop is not black, he's not going to understand. And if that cop is black, he or she know what it is, but they can't understand because they took the oath. They sworn in to be on the side of justice. But I got something to combat that. Because you can't blame the police for taking action. When they out there, they see a lot of things, man. So they're afraid. You can't be mad at somebody being afraid. Whether they hold the title of police officer, judge, lawyer, ICE, president, senator, they're afraid. I'll give you an example why they're afraid. Here we go.
Avenue in the Midway community. West News' Kennedy Mason is joining us live from outside the Seminole County Sheriff's Office in Kennedy. Deputies are saying that they suspect 2 gunmen were involved.
They do, Luana. The Sheriff's Office says that a deputy...
Let me interject this. Fair use, fair use, fair use for educational purposes. All my videos that we be playing is fair use for educational purposes.
He shot and killed one of those accused shooters, but it's still unclear where that second accused shooter is tonight. What started as a noise complaint at a large block party in Sanford's Midway community turned deadly early Saturday morning. Investigators say a deputy opened fire just after 1 a.m. as gunshots erupted in the crowd.
This is an unfortunate set of circumstances all the way around.
Sykes Avenue and Kings Road were lined with crime scene tape, evidence markers, and remnants of the party as the Sheriff's Office and FDLE continued their investigation. Authorities say deputies were trying to disperse the crowd when the situation escalated quickly. Investigators say a suspect began firing shots and a nearby deputy returned fire, striking him. The suspect was taken to a hospital where he later died. 2 other people were also injured.
Our thoughts and prayers are really with...
Did you hear that? Let's play it back. Let's play it back. This is why the police are afraid. This is why they take the opportunity to get at you first.
Crime scene tape, evidence markers, and remnants of the party as the Sheriff's Office and FDLE continued their investigation. Authorities say deputies were trying to disperse the crowd when the situation escalated quickly. Investigators say a suspect began firing shots and a nearby deputy returned fire, striking him. The suspect was taken to a hospital where he later died. 2 other people were also injured.
Our thoughts and prayers are really with all those who are impacted by this tragedy.
Emery Green Jr., Executive Director of the Midway Coalition, says the organization is working with the Sheriff's Office to keep residents informed as the investigation continues.
We ask everyone at this point, we encourage them to not rush to judgment, allow the facts to come out, and we will make sure that everyone is informed.
Investigators believe 2 shooters were involved but have not released if they are in custody. In the meantime, Green is encouraging residents to remain calm.
I live in the community. I've been there for well over 15 years, and I was born in Midway. So if I live there with the level of comfort underneath my roof with my family, I know our neighbors can do the same. But this is a process that needs to play itself out.
That's what he said. He said he live in that neighborhood. And he understands people could do better. He understands that. He hoped that people could do better. He hopes. You understand? Because this life not easy, man. This life is not easy. So now, it even comes to a point where you have to ask yourself, is this just in one state in the United States of America, or is this happening all over the nation? So the baby getting killed, that's in Mississippi. This gentleman here that had a shootout with the deputies, this is in Florida. There's a lot going on. Now we're going to scoot over to the police being so frantic that even a dog was involved. It's a lot. It's a lot. Fair use, fair use. Everything's fair use.
This gripping moment now seen across the nation. The story of Marie grieving the death of her golden retriever poodle Mitch Jameson.
Oh, let's run it from the beginning. Here we go. Listen to what she say. Listen to what she say.
This gripping moment now seen across the nation. The story of Marie grieving the death of her golden retriever poodle Mitch Jameson, shot and killed after police arrived to her home off Jordan Avenue in Canoga Park.
He's such a good dog.
Police were called there Saturday evening when a neighbor asked them to do a welfare check after hearing screams from the home. But it turned out to be Marie celebrating the New York Knicks championship win. The neighbor who called for LAPD speaking out for the first time.
Why are you crying?
I feel responsible for what happened. The neighbor says they were walking outside the condo building when they heard Marie's screams. Were hiding their identity because they fear their safety after receiving threats from people online.
Why did you?
So a neighbor called the cops because they heard the lady celebrating for the New York Knicks game. And they felt like it's their duty to get the cops involved because she was too excited. So you just got people calling the cops on anybody just because they feel like that's what it's supposed to be. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, call the cops. But nobody take the initiative to do no investigating of their own. Why did they knock on the door and say, "Oh, are you okay?" If they did. If they have a phone number, call her. Make sure she's all right. But they called the cops. They did their civil duties. And then the dog ended up getting killed. Now she's crying saying she feel bad. Wow. Took the lady dog away from her. Babies, dogs. What do you call this, man? What is this?
Go check on your neighbor Marie to see if she was okay.
I was screaming to her balcony for a while. I called several times. I kept going, "Hello, are you okay?"
They said their past experience with domestic violence triggered them to call police to Marie's home.
They were very hostile. They were banging on that door. It sounded like with a baton or something. And they were like, "LAPD, answer your door, LAPD." That's not how I thought a wellness check would go.
LAPD says when cops arrived, the dog rushed toward officers and attacked them.
The barking continued after a second, and then 5 gunshots. Back to back, just boom, 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 boom.
But the owner's son told me off camera the 2-year-old dog was energetic, not violent. A GoFundMe page for Jameson is nearing $200,000 in support.
Now, you have situations like this that unfortunately is more common than you think. And that's just people being spiteful. Once you have a problem with a person want to get the authorities involved just for a tick for tat. Just to be spiteful. And not for nothing else. Now, let's see how she answered this question. Let's see how she answered this question.
Nearing $200,000 in support. What lesson has this taught you?
I think it's taught me just not to trust the LAPD. Next time I would probably go myself and check on my neighbor.
Ah. You see? You see? That's all she had to do from the beginning. Is go check on a neighbor instead of look for reasons to justify why she didn't want to check on her neighbor. Get the cops involved. I'm not going there. Something may happen to me. Well, the cops don't know her. So depending on the phone call, they come in aggressive. Because they're afraid. They're afraid. And I don't know if this lady that called the cops know that they're afraid. But they're afraid. Everybody want to go home to their wife and kids. Everybody want to go home. Everybody just want to live. No matter what job they have. This is in Los Angeles. Let's move on now. To New York City. Of course, West Coast to East Coast. There's always something going on. West Coast to East Coast. It don't matter what city you may be harmed. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's go.
This is the moment gunshots rang out in Times Square, sending hundreds of people running. This is the moment gunshots rang out in Times Square, sending hundreds of people running.
I check my phone, I see Instagram shots fired near Times Square.
Earthcam video captured the shooter and the chaotic scene at 44th Street and 7th Avenue. People racing away while NYPD officers rushed in.
People were running to cover for safety.
The shooter can be seen aiming and firing the gun into the crowd before turning to flee the scene, running right into a police officer, barely slowing down before taking off.
You see that shit? Ran right into the cop. 42nd Street, New York City, Times Square, broad daylight. Boom, 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 boom. I said this word before. Carmelo Anthony might have followed the YN, but he wasn't a YN. Because what these guys got right here, Carmelo Anthony don't got. And these guys got that street deceit with them. Them dudes right there let off whatever they let off. They get caught later on. They're going to say, nah, it wasn't me. I wasn't there, officer. There's a lot of people that look like me. It's impossible that you think that was me. I don't know nothing about that. And they be cool as a cucumber in December. Knowing that they ice cold and they ain't giving up nothing. Carmelo, the minute he got caught, he said it all. So he was following this mindset of teenagers because he's a teenager himself, but he ain't got what these people got in them. And that's a fact. That's that street deceit Let you know they out there. You see how many shots you heard? There was hamburger with extra cheese out there for that beef. That beef had extra cheese on it. I'm telling you, people, this United States of America is done. It's done. And if you don't know, you cannot act like you don't know. Because you living in it. Tomorrow, somebody else. Today, it might be you. The next day moving forward, it could be anybody else. Because if it didn't get you today, it may get you tomorrow. And that goes for everybody and anybody in today's times. Let's get back to the show. Woo!
Again, more police join
Now
the
just
foot
look at it.
patrolling right into a police
Right
officer,
into the cop.
barely slowing down before taking off again. More police join the foot pursuit.
Police say there was some kind of fight just after 3:30 Thursday afternoon, and they took into custody a 17-year-old suspected of firing the shots. Nobody was struck. Police said they recovered the gun. A block to the west at 45th Street and 8th Avenue, a 26-year-old man was slashed. Police are now working to determine if there's some kind of connection. The victim is stable. He was taken to the hospital. And that 17-year-old who is suspected of firing the shots is in custody this morning. Charges
17 years old. 17-year-old. Run it back again. I can't believe I heard the age. I'm rattled and I'm just watching this. I'm bedazzled and I'm watching this.
He was taken to the hospital. And that 17-year-old who is suspected of firing the shots is in custody this morning. Charges against him are pending.
Damn. 17 years old letting off whatever he let off. Woo! So you know. I'm trying to bring awareness to the young kids out there to let them know, don't follow suit. Don't follow behind the generation that's before you doing what you're doing. Don't do what they did. Don't follow suit. Make your own way in life. Make your own way. There's a long and tedious process to having a good life. But at the end, it will pay off. For you to go any other route is not conducive to you. Work 40, 50 years, make your money, turn your money over, open up a business. You work hard so you know how it is to set the parameters so somebody could work hard for themselves. That way, if they're working for you, they're working hard for themselves, but you reap the benefits of that. Good workers produce good businesses. So now, I understand why the cops may be apprehensive doing their job, because you never know. But that still don't give the officers the right to unalive a 1-year-old baby, a defenseless soul, an innocent soul. Now we're going to take it down the block. Two hours and change down the road from New York City. It's going to Philly. And Philly's an interesting city. They have a little bit of New York City in there and a Baltimore in there. And that's what makes it so unique. Because if you think Philly's slow, you may quickly regret that mindset. So here we go to Philly. Fair use. Everything I play is fair use. Trying to make sure the children don't fall into the traps of what they see. Let's go.
Learned about this shooting.
Well, good morning, Greg. Good morning, everyone. The last police officer just pulled away from the scene, but cleaners just came up to start clearing away the debris. Now, we're still trying to get more information from police, but this is what we can confirm at this point. 2 people, as you said, are dead and 2 others injured after the shooting here in the Fair Hill section of Philadelphia. A police inspector tells us that 4 people were shot in all at about 3 o'clock this morning at 5th and Willard. Again, 2 of the victims are dead, 2 others were shot and remain in stable condition. Now, we don't know exactly the circumstances that led up to this shooting, but we can tell you that it all happened around a bar called the Dementi Lounge. So something may have happened inside there and then spilled out onto the street. We did see evidence markings and shell casings right outside the bar, and then again about 30 feet down the street. So clearly something happened either inside or outside just after that bar closed. Now, back out here, cleaners just arrived on the scene, and they're getting ready to clean up. There's still blood in the area and some debris, so it clearly was a chaotic scene this morning. Now, police tell us they have no suspects in custody at this point, but as always, if you have any information, they're asking for the public's help, so please contact police immediately if you know anything, even if you think it's small. Greg?
All right, Ellen, thank you very much.
See how she broke that down? Smooth and eloquent. They got cleaners ready to clean up the debris. But Philly is just not that simple, man. There's always extra stuff going on in Philly. I remember one time I was in Philly. And walking down Market Street. I was on South 16th. And I was like, man, look at this, man. This city is cool. It's cool. Then I went to use the bank across the street. So I looked up and I said, okay, this is where it separates south from north, because across the street said north and across the street said south, but I happened to be on the south. So I was on Christine, I think it was Christine's place or Christine Street. It was like a little park. Sit there, have my little soda, chilled out. It's cool. I said, yeah, man, Philly's cool. Kept walking down the block. I think it was like South 17. No, sorry, the number kept going up. It was like South 25. Man, that shit is different. Just 10 blocks from where I was at. And I had to make a U-turn. What's going on here, man? Like from night to day, day to night. Easy. I could have got packed up. Easy. So Philly, yeah. It gets like that. It gets like that. But I had money at that time, so I was good to go. I was comfortable up in the Sofitel Hotel. I was laid up easy. All right, let's get back to this.
Also this morning, crews responded to a house fire in South Philadelphia. It happened around 4:30 this morning on the 1300 block of South 4th Street. Officials say the fire caused damage in one of 2 neighboring properties, but there were no injuries. A rideshare driver is recovering after police say she was shot during an attempted robbery in Fairmount.
I'm telling you, man, it's not just one story in Philly. There's always something going on, back to back to back. I'm telling you, man. That's why the police is afraid. Normal living is normal to the people living there. But a police officer mindset is, I gotta deal with this. Tree line block usually meant prosperity. Usually meant low crime. Everybody good to go. But Nah, not so. That's where the most horrendous, underhanded things happen. That's just any neighborhood now. You just don't know what's gonna happen.
Investigators say the 38-year-old woman was waiting to pick up a passenger on Poplar Street just after midnight Saturday. That is when police say two masked men approached her car and tapped a small gun on the driver's side window. As she tried to drive away, investigators say one of the men fired a shot through the window, hitting her in the shoulder. She was taken to the hospital and listed in stable condition. Police are still searching for the suspects. A shootout outside a house party leads to a brazen armed carjacking early yesterday in Philadelphia's Parkside neighborhood. Police say a man and three friends were sitting in a car on Parkside Avenue when gunfire erupted between two groups. Investigators say several of the gunmen then forced their way into the car at gunpoint and ordered the driver to take off. The victims were eventually forced out of the vehicle before the suspects drove away. The car was later found. Fortunately, no injuries were reported.
There we go. Cause I'm not gonna play that whole thing. I can imagine the Philadelphia newspaper. You squeeze it out. Imagine what comes out of that newspaper. Nothing but blood. And you notice anything that says South have a negative connotation to it? South, Bronx, New York City. South, Memphis. South, Florida. South, Philly. Anything with a South seems like it's destined to be bad. I got one more, man. One more. Coming back up the turnpike from New York City. Jersey. And after this, I'm gonna end the show because it's just too much. At this point, I think America is over with. It's just too much crime, and the government too much politics, no jobs, nothing for the kids to look forward to. But you still have to teach the kids there's always a better way and a brighter day. Because the kids are innocent. So you can have your children see things and tell your kids that it still could be easier for you if you push through it. Let's get into this.
Breaking news in New Jersey, the Hudson County.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Every video that I play is fair use for educational purposes.
County Prosecutor's Office investigating a deadly shooting. Chopper 2 was over the scene a short time ago. You can see officers inspecting a white BMW outside a home on Patterson Plank Road. At least 6 shell casings were found on the ground. We'll continue to monitor the situation on CBS News New York and online at CBS New York.
Hold on. It says 6 shell casings, right? 6.
You can see officers inspecting a white BMW outside a home on Patterson Plank Road. At least 6 shell casings were found on the ground. We'll continue to monitor the situation on...
You understand? So you can't say America's not a country where they let them guns blow. That's a lie. America let them guns blow. They handle everything with guns. I'll tell you one person that didn't handle nothing with a gun, because he wasn't about that. He didn't have that mindset. That good old Carmelo Anthony didn't handle nothing with a gun. He didn't have that mindset. He was a good student. 3.7 GPA. Oh, yes, he was intelligent. Oh, yes, he was smart. He just didn't have no support. Family didn't support him. Sad, man. Sad. And all he used was what he know. something to clean out the dirt from his sneakers. And unfortunately, that became a weapon and killed Austin Metcalf. But if Carmelo Anthony would have had a gun, then I could say, yep, he like the rest of them people out there just using a gun to handle business. But nah, Carmelo was a good kid. Now he have to do 35 years in jail. What's that? Oh, he just got a new legal team for the appeal. So now he's going to finally get his support. So maybe with that, there just might be some hope. Click, like, subscribe. Leave your comments. Let me know what it is. Let me know what it's not. I'm out.